Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Destiny 2. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and salutations. Today, is that a big scion, or are you just happy to see me? Let's get to it. The Insight Terminus is one of the Nightfalls for the week, and if you are going for the score, you're going to want to do a couple of things. You're going to want to get a challenge card from Zur. You're going to want to set up that challenge card with a Singe. Whatever strategy that you're employing, either your super or power weapon or a combination of the both, power and super, go ahead and set it to whatever you are going to do and your fire team. In addition to the Singe, you're going to want Match Game, Extinguish, and Blackout. Match game, if you don't match the shield type with the weapon element, then you won't do as much damage to the shield. Extinguish, if you all wipe, then you will go back to orbit. And Blackout, you have no mini-map, and enemy melees do a lot of damage. So don't wipe. Watch out for enemies coming up on the side or behind you. And make sure that all three team members have different elements for their energy weapon type. Now, minimally, you're going to want Void and Arc if you're running a Solar Singe. And if you're running an Arc Singe, then you're going to want at least Void and Solar. If you have power weapons that are Arc or Void or Solar, you don't have to worry about those as much. But I still recommend that all three members of your fire team have different elements to make it a little bit easier, so that when you come up with a enemy with a particular element type that is a shield, so a void shield like a Minotaur, if you don't have a void energy weapon, you know that someone else is supposed to take care of it. And if you do have a void energy weapon, then you know you need to take out that shield. Now, what else about the strike? There's lots of void shields because of the Minotaurs and combustors or flamethrowers. There are some arc shields, but not a lot. And then there's also some solar shields. Again, not a lot. So there's lots of void shields and then a few of the other two. But when you come up to them, you don't want to spend your precious time trying to take out their shields. So that's why it's important to have a variety of element types. Additionally, knowing what to expect during the strike is always an advantage, because if you know where enemies are spawning, how they're spawning, and whether or not they have a tendency to try to sneak up on you, very important in this strike. So I will let you know that there is a point where there's kind of an island in the middle, and Cabal will pop up in that middle island via the little Cabal balls. So if you are standing in that middle section when they show up, more than likely one of those vessels of the Cabal are going to smash you and take you out. So avoid that area if at all possible. The dogs and scions like to sneak up from the side or behind you to take you out, and since melees do extra damage to the guardians, do be aware of it and do either listen or look for them, or both. So what you can do is you can have one of your fire team members be a little bit farther behind than the other two, and that will help you to maintain a certain amount of safety so that when that someone tries to sneak up on a team member, then you can call it out and say, hey, to your right, to your left, behind you, whatever, especially if you don't have a good angle on the enemy, or there's no way that you could take them out before the enemy takes out your fire team member. So communication, very important in strikes in general, but Nightfalls where you're trying to get the score especially. Additionally, in addition to those modifiers, because with those modifiers you only get 2.95 times to the score, you're going to want to put a handicap, power handicap, so whatever your power level is, and subtract 540 from that, and that will give you how much of a power handicap that you can add. Now, if you want to do more on top of that, you certainly can. Just know that it will become more difficult to finish in a timely manner. So you'll have the entire 15 minutes to try to gather a score, and then depending on your score multiplier, you'll have a few minutes beyond that to finish it off to maintain the score, because once you hit 15 minutes, your multiplier will drop and you will start losing points. So do make sure that you have the score plus a buffer if you're not going to make it in that 15 minutes. And from 15 minutes until about 18 or 19 minutes, you'll be able to maintain that score and maybe add a little bit, but maintain more than likely. So that is your buffer to get that strike done. If you're coming up to 15 minutes and you haven't gotten the score yet, you might want to think about starting over depending on how close you are to finishing. And if you are beyond the 15 minutes, hopefully you are at the boss and in the middle of that last encounter in order to get the score. Now, the last section does have a lot of scions and cabal and gladiators and dogs, and they will, several of the melee ones will try to come up from the side or behind you. So do be aware of that. Do make sure that you're looking out for each other in order to keep all your fire team members alive as long as possible. Because losing one fire team member is going to drop your DPS. Losing two fire team members means that you're going into survival mode where you have to survive without getting wiped out. So if you're in a position to bring another team member up, do so. But don't put yourself into danger, because there is that 10-second cooldown before someone can bring you back up. Anyway, that's it. Good luck on this Nightfall strike. At the end of it, you do have a chance of getting a Nightfall specific drop called the Long Goodbye. It is a sniper rifle in the energy slot. So good luck with the strike. Good luck getting that rare drop. Make sure to ring the bell before you leave to be notified of all future episodes as soon as they go live. And thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
Guardian down. Guardian down. Guardian down.
Here they come again.
There's Kargan. Wow. Okay, don't get hit by that.
Intercepted communication from the Vex indicates that Kargan has bypassed their initial security protocols.
It looks like Kargan is using that conflux to access the data artifact. Get me over to that Vex plate, and I'll try a counter hack. I injected some bad variables into his decryption process. That should slow him down. Guardian down. Guardian down. Guardian down. Guardian down. I'm pretty sure he realizes we're not going to let him get away with stealing the data while we're here.
You are correct, friendly ghost. A massive buildup of energy indicates several Cabal transports are inbound to your position.
Guardian down.
You asked for it.
Guardian down. Location secured, Commander Zavala.
Good work, Guardian. What intel did you discover?
There's only one data artifact here, labeled Oxa, and it's seriously corrupted. Metadata says it was last accessed by an Otzot centuries ago. What is Oxa? And who is Otzot?
Those are questions for another day, I suppose. But